All right. Now I'm going to share my screen.
You know what we can write about? You know
What's
the
that?
document from the White House that did those extra um, tutors about the education. Why don't we can use that to how can we promote that to educational organizations in other
Okay.
countries so that where does one go with, and because I'm sure it will be applicable to every country.
Right. Okay. I think that's good. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to bring up the tool here, and it looks like for some reason I got logged out, but let me try this one more time. Well, I'm going to see if I can remember my password. All right. So let's find recent request from USA government to teach students AI as part of school. Okay, here we go. AI education.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order advancing artificial intelligence. Okay. So I think we can probably scrub some information off of there. And I'm going to put this in a document. That way we'll have something we can upload into the system. So do that. And let's look at this. Go back here, see what else we can find here. Oh, here we go. 2026.
So for people that are brand new here, you should tell them why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm actually we're going to write a book. If for anybody that's new here, we're going to write a book about some of the government's mandates and requests out to schools, um, asking them to start teaching children about artificial intelligence. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm just pulling up some of the recent articles and things here that have been published about this, and I'm going to take and copy and paste some of that into a document. Then I'm going to upload it into our Ghostwriter just to kind of give it a little bit of initial information. And so this I'm going to copy and put in here, and then that'll just kind of kick us off and get us some research started for that.
Now,
And just kind of train the GPT a little bit on a little bit of background. It'll reach out and do its own research as well, but I'm going to give it a starting point. Okay.
everything starts with some training that gets the ball
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. So we're going to write a book. So as all of our apps are, the way we categorize them in here, pretty common sense. If you just come down here, you'll find this tab that says write your book. And we do have a lot of things like the book research tool right here, which will give you a lot of research. But rather than going through that, I'm going to go, I kind of already have an idea of what I want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and start out with the Ghostwriter right here. And the Ghostwriter is your ghostwriter. It'll help you write a book step by step, very, very simple. And let me hide this floating thing here. And so I'm going to start a new chat because I want to be able to have one string that is this particular book. So once I click on new chat, you'll see that this gives you some prompts, and our GPTs are designed to pull information out of you rather than you trying to get information out of it. And it tries to pull your IP, your intellectual property, or your AI, your anointed intelligence, and it's going to combine that with artificial intelligence, which gives you amazing improvement. So this basically says right here, hello, I'm your creative writing coach, a ghost writer in residence. I'm here to spark ideas, shape scenes, and refine your prose with tailored prompts, exercises, and focused feedback. To get started, tell me what you'd love to write or read. Which genres or authors inspire you the most? What are you working on right now? And what's your goal for it? Share a bit and I'll craft prompts and a practice plan just for you. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn on this mic and I'm going to talk for just a minute. I want to write a book about the current United States government's request and demands for schools to start teaching children AI, what the value is of teaching children AI, the value of getting them future ready, and in the book maybe include things about the percentages of jobs right now that are requiring AI skills and the percentage of jobs in the future that will require AI skills, and talk a little bit about the new jobs that are being created in the AI world and how people who are displaced because AI is taking their jobs could actually, with a little bit of training, be able to get an even better or higher paying job because of the demand of experts in the AI world right now. Okay, so I just kind of talked in there, and then I'm going to say, here's some initial research about the government, but please, feel free to add any other information that you're aware of. And I'm going to paste this in here, all the stuff that we just copied into that document. Now, maybe too much. I might have to save that as a PDF and upload it instead of pasting it in here, but we'll see here. It takes a bit. It's going to analyze this data and save it and remember it. As long as I didn't throw too much in there, it'll actually let you put more in a PDF and upload a PDF, and it will let you just throw text in there. But I think we're probably going to be okay here.
And you need to make sure that you're not including any images.
Yeah, it doesn't want images. I think I did. I deleted the images because if you put a bunch of images in there, the document will get too large for you to actually upload it.
Right. Yeah, I've tried that before and it doesn't work. It doesn't like it.
Yeah. So we've literally taken this tool, or I should say these tools, and written a book in under an hour live. For example, we had Dr. Stan Harris, also known as Dr. Breakthrough, who's a world-renowned speaker, 10th grade black belt, and helped him pour his intellectual property, his anointed intelligence into the system and wrote a book for him in just about an hour. And his first book that he wrote took him about 20 years. And so now when he talks about this, he's like, hey, this second book really just took me an hour. My first book took me 20 years, and it's not just a generic AI, it's not just a generic AI written book, right? It really has his his genius poured into it. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we got here. All right, I'm going to blow this up where we can see it a little bit. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I'll just give you an idea of what this is going to do here. Fantastic project. I'm excited to help you shape this into a clear, compelling, and well-sourced book that speaks to parents, educators, and policymakers about why AI literacy belongs in K through 12 and how it connects to jobs now and in the future. First, a few quick scoping questions. Primary audience, district leaders, teachers, parents, or general readers. Tone, neutral policy, explainer, persuasive, advocacy, or storyline driven. Format, one part of manifesto or 3-part policy. Context, classroom, workforce. Evidence, depth, light narrative with facts or data, forward with charts and citations. Okay. Working title, future ready, why every child should learn AI now. Teach the tool, building AI literate generation, from classroom to career, the new AI basics for K through 12. Okay, I think I like that one too. So we'll keep that one. Okay. Okay, and it's giving you a proposed table of contents. Part 2, the policy, the landscape, and just for time, in essence of time, I'm not going to go through and read all of this, but notice how well it's laid this out. Myth versus reality. It's got some sample openings. Then author workflow, so we can move fast. Week 1, confirm audience tone, chapter list. Week 2, week 4 through 5, week 6 through 7, breaks us all down. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's roll with this. Use this title and give me an outline for chapter 1. Now, what I like to do is I like to actually have do this in steps, right? I won't just say, okay, now write the book, right? I say, give me an outline for chapter 1, and then I'll tell it to write me, 3 paragraphs for each point in chapter 1, and then I'll do the same thing with chapter 2, 3, 4, etc. And we'll probably go ahead.
Yeah, I've also found it good to tell it at the beginning how many chapters this thing is, because it tends to organize things based on the number of chapters that you might want and approximately how long the chapters should be.
Yeah, I like that too. Yep. So we'll do this. We'll say 7 chapters. We've got about 40 minutes, so we may be able to get through 7, but if not, at least we'll get a good start on it. All right. So it's thinking, it's doing its research. And one of the things that we do always tell people is, read your book before you publish it and edit it. You want to make it more, more of you, less of AI. Because I've literally seen people have AI write a book for them without really pouring their anointed intelligence into it, their genius into it, and then go and publish it, and they've never even read the book. right? So you really want to read your book. Okay, so let's take a look here. I think we just got Ed on the line. Is that you, Ed?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How's Florida?
Thank you, brother.
All right, working chapter,
Beautiful.
working chapter title. Okay, the moment AI everywhere, children at the center. Okay, AI everywhere, children at the center. Okay, and so it's saying the purpose of the chapter, establish why AI literacy belongs in K through 12. Clarity what AI is and isn't to reduce fear and hype. Connect classroom practices to near-term career skills. Set a human-first ethic. AI is a tool. Judgment, empathy, and values remain ours, right? So what we're doing at is we're actually starting to write a book that relates to the government's request and some of the executive orders that Trump has signed about getting AI into schools. Since we just introduced, the new tutors. And then that's got a structure and flow: cold open, a classroom snapshot, scene middle school, Ella, class facts, class fact checks, an AI written summary of a news article. And it really organizes it very well. What is AI? Why K through 12? Myth versus reality, the policy backdrop, classroom to career. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell it now to go ahead and write chapter 1, as you can see here, and make this 7 chapters each with about 1,000 words. Okay, so we're going to write chapter 1.
So you picked 1,000 words. That's about how many pages?
I don't remember how many pages, but you'll end up with about a 7,000 word book, which is really nice. The giveaway book. Okay, here we go. Chapter 1. You guys didn't know I could type that fast, did you?
Quick.
There we go. Man, my fingers are getting hot from typing so fast. Okay, so here we go. And we're just going to look at a little bit of this, and then I'm going to show you what it says down at the bottom. That leads you through writing this book. Okay, from classroom to career, the new AI basics for K-12, chapter 1. The moment, AI everywhere, children at the center. On Tuesday in October, Miss Alvarez asked her 7th graders a simple question. If a machine can write a paragraph, what's left for us to do? The room buzzed. A few students tossed out quick answers. Edit it, make it faster. Cheat. I can see my son be the one that hollers that out when he was a teenager. And then quiet Maya raised her hand and she said, decide what matters. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. The class stilled. Pens hovered above notebooks. That became the day's compass. If a tool can speed some parts of the work, people still need to choose the goal, judge what's true, and care about one another. Man, this is perfect. By the end of the period, the kids had run a short experiment. They fed an AI assistant a news clip and asked for a summary. Then they highlighted the strongest lines in the green, the questionable ones in yellow, and anything that sounded too confident without proof in red. In teams, they searched trusted sources to verify claims, revised the summary for accuracy and tone, and then this was Maya's idea, wrote 2 reflective sentences. What did AI miss? What did we as readers and writers add? Well, the bell rang, a boy at the back grinned. Feels like superpower, he said, but also training wheels. So isn't that great? And now it goes through the entire chapter, which this is a very robust chapter. Look at this chapter. And then here it's talking to you about what to do next, right? In chapter 2, we'll map out AI literacy by grade, band with concrete outcomes and projects. For now, try Miss Alvarez's routine with your own class, a 5-step pass from generate to verify to improve. Give students the superpower and training wheels. The rest is practice and care together. Okay, so I'm going to include this in the book because this is speaking to the teachers. You know, maybe I'll call us, you know, for the teachers, and you could have a teacher version of this book that has this in it, and maybe you leave it out of the student version of the book. So I'm going to come back up here, and what I like to do is I like to copy this and put it into Google Docs, so I can edit it, make it more my genius, and we'll do that. Let me open up a Google Doc here. There we go. And then we'll go back to Ghostwriter, and we'll just say, write chapter 2. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to really do to get this. Once it understands what you're doing, and it obviously, with the information we fed into it, it obviously understands what we're trying to do here. You can see how well this chapter is laid out and written, and it's written in an enticing way where you want to read it. I mean, this started out, kind of drew me in. If you think this kind of drew you in, that first paragraph or so that I read, put a 10 in the chat box if you think this is a pretty cool way to get your book going. And like I said, you always want to read your book before you publish it, and you want to make it yours. You want to make sure you put in good citations, and we have tools in here that will even help you with all those citations, and make it yours. Make it your book. You can just. I spoke to a lady. In fact, Ed, we have a newer consultant in our organization who wrote 500 books before ChatGPT was created. 500 books, and now she's writing another 500, but she's using our system. But even before any AI was deployed, she wrote 500 books. And so I'd like to schedule some time for where we can actually write a book with her live and record it and share it with the team. All right, so we got chapter 2 here, but let's just take a quick look at this. All right, got this blown up pretty big here. Okay, from classroom to career, the new AI basics K through 12, chapter 2. A grade band map the new AI basics. On Monday morning, Miss Chen's first graders sorted a pile of pictures, cards, cats, dogs, and a few mischievous foxes. What patterns do you see? She said. Tiny fingers pointed whiskers, tails, ears, shapes. Later, they tried an app that guessed animal names from drawings. It got most right and confidently labeled one fox a dog. The class laughed and then circled back to the lesson. Patterns can be powerful and still be wrong. That simple truth, curiosity matched with skepticism, anchors the journey from kindergarten to career. So this chapter lays out a practical spiral map of AI literacy from K2 through 9, 12. And the tough prof lines remain constant: ask better questions, verify claims, notice bias, protect privacy, and make human-centered choices. What changes band by band is the complexity of the ideas and the independence with which each student applies them. So this is going right down the line that we need for this book. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one. Put this one in here. And Ed, if you want, I can share this with you. And if you want to do any formatting or anything like that. Let's see here. Let's share this. So Wilma, John, what do you think? Are we on track with where we set our goals when we started this?
I like it. I like this chapter where they talk about the patterns of, the cat or whatever, because
Mm-hmm.
in the free course they explained how AI developed with patterns, and it's very appropriate
Yes.
that is in here.
Yeah, I always find that when I'm working with it, you get stuff that you didn't even ask for. And I'm always very pleasantly surprised at the kinds of suggestions and things it'll add in for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And how it pulls information out of you. The way Ed's programmed these things is designed to really pull your genius into the AI. Your anointed intelligence. It's the AI3, artificial intelligence plus your anointed intelligence creates amazing improvements, and it just speeds up the process. So it's your work with, it's like having an editor, right? Going back, only better than having an editor because it makes you dig deeper.
Yeah, I like to, if I can, I like to take, before you move further, let's check. I promised these guys a couple days ago that we would go and ask our AI focus group. So I'm going to take the first 2 chapters and see what they think of how it's going before we move further.
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
okay? Yeah,
Sure. Go right. Yeah.
Let's try that.
Whenever
Let's
you're
try
ready,
that.
just let me know.
Yeah,
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, let's take a look at that and see what we can figure out. I got a little bit of time for you guys. A little bit of time today, not a whole breakfast lab, but I can share a little bit with you guys. So you guys understand. We were working a couple of days ago. I think Liz played this for you guys. It was our business brief and focus coach, and we had a conversation about the apprentice focus group. Okay, but you're working one on the kids, right? So let's go to our
K through 12.
Kids. Yeah, K through 12. Okay. So let's see here. Let's go to Ask Ed. Let's go to let's go to our tutors, Magic Kids, or our Wow GPT. Okay. So let's go to Ed because he's.
What I'll do is I'll give you an outline for all
Kids.
7. I'll give you an outline for all 7 chapters.
Yes.
That way you can throw the whole kind of scope in there in your focus group.
That's great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll pop that in the top of the document here as soon as I finish writing it. I'm sure you can hear my keyboard clacking in the background as fast as I'm typing.
Mm. Yes. Taylor, let's just go to let's go here to this one. Okay. So can you guys see my screen or is it blurry? Is it okay? Can you see it okay?
Blurry.
How about now?
That's blurry, yeah.
Very blurry.
Okay. Let's just wait for a second. Let me know when it's clear.
You might kill your camera. Might help. That's internet speed. No,
No.
looks like hieroglyphics.
Still?
Oh, now we can see
No,
it. Now we
no,
can
it's
see it.
perfect.
Okay, great. All right. So let's go here. So, all right. So here's our focus group. So basically, we have some individuals here. Let's just look at it here. Let's go back up here, and here they are. There's
No,
several
it's going
focus
off
groups.
again.
Okay.
Can't see.
Okay. So this is our avatar focus group. Maya, can you guys see that? Maya R.
Yeah.
She's 34. She's a solo marketer consultant from Austin, Texas. We got Daniel, 28-year-old. We got Jorge. We got agency principals. We got content strategists. We got all kinds of people here in our focus group. So let's just add. Let's get this book here that I downloaded.
And I just put the entire 7-chapter outline at the top of that document and highlighted it in yellow so you can easily see what it changed.
Okay. What's the name of the book?
Let me pull the chapter up here. From Classroom to Career, the new AI basics. Well, I'll put it in the chat for you so you're hanging. Just
got it. From, so it starts with from F. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. From Classroom. There it is. Okay.
To Career. Yeah. The new AI basics for K through 12.
All right. Then you gave me the outline, right?
Yeah. The outline is in yellow in the document.
Okay. Let's pull that up. Okay. Let's take that outline. How many chapters? 7?
7.
All right. What I'm going to do here is just speak into here. So we're writing a book. We're going to target information about our Magic Kids AI platform, which is part of our upsell for the AI apprentice focus group, because we know kids are part of our lives and part of our future as well, future work generation that we need to prepare for AI. We're thinking about writing a book to position ourselves in the marketplace, and we want to make sure we have the right angle to it, really target the right audience and the right tone. I'm going to give you the outline of the book in the first 2 chapters here. Can you get some feedback from our focus group about this, understanding that somebody may come in through the AI apprentice certification and then discover our Magic Kids AI platform? You know, we meet all the federal recommendations for literacy for our future workforce. That's a directive that came from the Department of Labor, from the White House, that said that these 5 specific areas of literacy need to be taught, not just in schools, but in nonprofit organizations that focus on education as well. So here is the start of our book. Please evaluate it and give me feedback based on our focus group. I'm gonna paste that right in here. The outline. There it is. And I have it attached here, the basic, what I downloaded the first 2 chapters. Okay. So with the AI focus group, you can ask them any questions relative, once you develop it in the business brief focus coach, right? So some of you saw that training where I answered 13, 14 questions on the business brief focus group. And it really nailed it down and gave me a great summary, right? But this is a great place to get some direction, right? Obviously, there's a lot of things to use for those, you know, obviously you got the book research app. I don't know if James did that in the book writing tool, but I mean, obviously we could do research before we write, which I probably, if your goal is to actually publish this, right, on Kindle, KDP, or anywhere else, then you want to be able to find the gaps in the market and write to where it has a good chance of really being fantastic. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we got here. Is it blurry, or can you guys see it?
It's fine.
Okay. I'm at a Christian camp area, so I'm in my room right now, but we had a little bit of break, so I wanted to come here with you guys just for a little bit. Thank you, James, for covering the road while we were on the road.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let's see what we got here. Great feedback. All right, let's go back and look here at the top. There we go. So he says, the focus group is fantastic. This is a strong start. Here's expert feedback from an AI focus group reactions to help you sharpen the angle, audience, and tone, and to position the Magic Kids AI platform elegantly alongside the apprentice pathway. Okay. Positioning recommendations: primary audience K through 12 district and school leaders, teachers, leaders, and influence curriculum. Secondary audience, parents and out of school learning providers who want safe, structured AI foundations. Core angle, human first AI literacy that travels from classroom to career. Your 5-step workflow is ask, generate, verify, improve, cite is the through line paired with fairness checks and teacher in loop routines. Gave us the tones. What's working especially well? Chapter 1's cold open. It immediately humanizes AI, so it's a great feedback. The 5-step use it like a map workflow is simple, repeatable. High impact opportunities and edits. So this is great here. Make the through line explicit. Make the through line explicit early. Introduce the 5-step workflow on page 1 with a simple diagram. Ask, generate, verify, improve, cite. So readers see the map before the first vignette, right? The story. I think that's what vignette means. Somebody could look that up. I don't even know what vignette, what the usage of that was. Before the first vignette or chapter, or before the first story, right? Elevate verification and fairness as non-negotiables. Like add a page 1 why verification matters. Spread with 2 to 3 brief examples. Incompetent but wrong. Okay. Tighten the vocabulary. Consider model literacy. AI literacy is plain language. Avoid terms like oracle, hallucination, without a brief kid-friendly definition. Okay. Let's see here. Map to national guidance. Include a 1-page alignment table where this book aligns and current federal recommendations for workforce relevant literacies, which would be great. And keep phrasing as aligns with or supports with rather than meets or complies unless you have a formal verification. In chapter 3, add a 150-word case vignette where students use swap the subject to spot representation gaps to improve an assignment. Show the before and after. In chapter 1, some micro suggestions. Consider shortening the paragraph, starting what AI is and what it isn't, by 15 to 20%. See how it gives us great feedback. Much like I guess probably the coach would, right? So you can see here's 8 reactions of all the individual focus group members. So here's the district superintendent of a school. What resonates with him, right? What's his buying trigger? Here's a director of curriculum and instruction, what they love, what they ask, what they're concerned about. Here's a middle school English a language teacher, right? Look, what she loves, what she asks, and her objective. Here's a high school science teacher. Here's a principal, what he loves, asks, and his buying trigger. Here's family members. Here's a student. Here's a student. Here's an after schools nonprofit program director. Right? What are their triggers? Here's some title, subtitle ideas. Back of the cover, like what you could put on the back of the cover. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff, right? So once you have an AI focus group, you could actually do some really, really cool stuff with, getting good feedback, James, right? I'll let you continue with your book, but it gives good feedback. So, you don't, like James said, I think I heard you say at the beginning, you don't just you want to spend time editing the book, right? So if you had a focus group specifically about the book you're writing, you could get some real good feedback and angles that you may want to talk about, right? So I think it gave us some, if you study it, right? If you study it and you save it, it'll give you really good feedback for your book that you're writing. So that's how you could use the AI focus group. Cool. Like what are the triggers? Like we're writing this, we want who do we want to read this? We want kids to read it. We want maybe principals and parents and schools and professors or whoever we want to read it, right? You could edit your focus group to the book you're writing also. Like see how it already did it? It already edited the book based on the content. A new first focus was different, but it gave a new focus group based on the book that we're writing, because I put the first 2 chapters in there and it basically already conformed to me and said, okay, let me give you a focus group that would resonate with this book and let's see what their feedback is. What are their triggers? What do they like? What's hot, right? Cool.
Love it. Yep. It definitely is a great way to get started with it.
They love my, somebody said they love my hoodie. Yeah. God, I can't lose
I like it.
Cool. It's a little
I love it
too
too.
hot in Florida for this. I'm going to change it right now. So awesome.
All right. So perfect. Thanks, Ed. So there's so many great tools in here to just help improve your book. And we even have the humanizer, a lot of other tools in here that as you go through and write your book, take a look. Here's book research, book clarity, book 360. Ghostwriter is the one we're using right now. This book research, man, it's incredible. And of course, the one Ed just shared with you, your focus group, you can really create a class act, beautiful book, and even create your cover, make it into an audiobook, everything else. All right, so here's where we left off. And then I had it right. Actually, this detailed map for Ed to put into the into the focus group. So, but now I think we're on chapter
3.
Let's see. I think we did chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 4 is next. Okay. Right. Chapter 4. And I usually crank out all the chapters and then I'll start doing, my editing, that kind of thing. Decide if I want to put it in the Book Critic, which I almost always do, put it in the Book Critic. And the thing that I like about the Book Critic, it tells you all these different things that you need to do to improve the book. And I just copy and paste everything it told me to do to improve the book and come back over here to the thread that's on this book and I paste it in there. And I'll, some of them I might not like, so I'll delete them. Some changes it suggests maybe I don't like, so I'll delete those. But anything that I do like, I'll just come paste it right here in the Ghostwriter and say, here's make these updates to the book, and it'll crank it out, and it'll do 90% of what I want done, and then I just go through and spend a little time editing it, myself, making sure it's sending the message that I want to send. Here we go. Here's chapter 4. Once it understands what you're wanting, what you're doing, then it just makes it writing your book so much easier. You guys didn't, like I said, you didn't know I could type this fast. From East Texas boy to speed typer.
I don't think anybody can type that fast. Only AI.
The ghostwriter can.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this one in here. Then I'm going to stop at this point and see, what kind of questions we have, kind of comments. If you think that this would help you get that authority book out that, you've been thinking about writing all these years, about what your expertise is, what your genius is. If you think this would help you do that, put a 10 in the chat box. Let us know what you think about this amazing tool that Ed created here, the Ghostwriter. And just put a 10 in the chat box. And if you have any questions, I see some questions in the Q&A, so I'm going to pull that up and take a look here.
Also, for those that are new, we need to mention that you can create the cover, you create the logo.
Yes. Yeah, you can create the cover. You can turn it into an audio book as well. Steve, Ed, if you'll look in the questions, Steve's asking about a link you had shared. I don't have that handy. I don't know if you have that handy or not. If you could pop it in there. And any other questions that people have at the moment? All right, so it doesn't look like we have any other questions. So I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about what John's talking about. Is here in the book, Write Your Book area. Of course, we've talked about the book research, the book clarity coach, book 360, Ghostwriter. We also have a fact checker. You want to check your facts, make sure you got them right, make sure you give citations to the people who do citations. The book critic, which, I basically upload a PDF version of the book in here and get all the suggestions for it. And as I mentioned, I'll have the Ghostwriter update any of those that I like. Create your book cover. Here, you can create some incredible books. This is one we did with Bill Hoffman. Wrote a book with Bill Hoffman, and these are some of the covers that we created. And any of these book covers that you create, they're saved over here on this left navigation, so you can come back and look at them later, and maybe use them later if you want to. So that covers the the need for your book cover. And let's see what else we've got here. Audiobook maker, so you can create your audiobook. Humanize AI writing, so this helps make it if it's tested by somebody to see if it's written by AI, this will make it more humanized. Fictional friend, you guys don't have this one. This is for the kids. It's showing up here in mine because of an admin in the system. And then authority book. We actually, when we did our book writing seminar, we used the authority book to help write your authority book. And let's see, Steve, I see you have your hand up. do you have a question? Can you put a question in the Q&A? Well, I tell you what, Steve's raising his hand. I think I'll just pull Steve up here, see what question that he has. I'm going to promote you to panelist, Steve. If you can't come up, that's okay. You can type your question in.
Yeah, so somebody else has that press release. I know that Wilma has it. John probably has it. Somebody else has it. You can send it. Can you put that in the chat for everybody? That's where the press release. I sent that. You could have downloaded it then, but I don't have it with me right now, Steve. I apologize. So somebody else can have to send that too, sir.
Yeah, Ed's traveling. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and thank you all for being here at the AI Breakfast Lab. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Central. And I tell you, the training that Ed provides on AI is better than the training that you're going to get going to these seminars, paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for all the upsells that they're going to sell you when you get there. This training is even better, and it's free. It's just one of the benefits of being part of our community. So one of the best ways to say thank you to Ed for all the hard work he does is invite a friend to the training. Ed's mission in life, his existence on this planet, his passion is training, helping people elevate their lives and get to a better place through training. So invite your friends, share the golden opportunity with them as well. And, if you do that, that's one of the greatest ways to thank Ed for everything that he does. With that, we're going to go ahead and close out this meeting. Let me bring up